right, everybody, welcome to Game 4, 1982 American League Championship Series. Here in Milwaukee, Kansas City took a 2-0 lead, winning both games in Kansas City. Milwaukee did win Game 3 behind a great pitching of Don Sutton to extend it now to a Game 4, and they're hoping to, of course, extend it to a Game 5. And on short rest, not really short rest though, Pete Vukovich comes back. He only pitched a little over 3 innings in Game 1, so he didn't last very long, so he's not really that tired per se. So they felt better going with him than they did going with Moose Haas. The Royals will go with their number 4 starter, Dennis Leonard, 10-6 with a 5.10 ERA. And be the first right-hander to go for the Royals. They had 3 lefties going in the first 3 games. And if it gets to a Game 5, it'll be Mike Caldwell for the Brewers against Vida Blue for the Royals. That would be the Game 5 matchup if it gets there. But we shall see. Let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. Pretty standard, actually, as I'm looking at these. I don't think there's a whole lot of weird things going on here. We got Wilson, White, Brett, McCray, Akins, Otis, Wathan, Jerry Martin's back in right field, and UL Washington. For the Brewers, Mallory out, Cooper, Simmons. I did bump Ogilvie ahead of Thomas since they're facing a right-hander. Thomas, Money, Moore, and Gantner. So seemingly a pretty standard lineup. Ballpark effects for County Stadium singles are 1 to 10 for both lefties and righties. Home runs only 1 to 2. So much like the ballpark effects in Dodger Stadium, home runs are only a 2. So not going to get very many ballpark home runs in this series. And I won't spoil the National League results. So in case you haven't had a chance to watch that video yet between the Expos and Dodgers, I'll keep that to myself, I suppose. All right, so Willie Wilson will lead it off, and we got our standard red, and just pretty much what came with the game, pretty much, is what I'm using. So both teams have the blue in there, and both have kind of yellow. So I don't really have any yellow dice. I do have yellow and black. So if the Pirates ever got in there, I'd be set. But don't have yellow and blue or yellow and green. So let's go with what we got. Willie Wilson will lead things off here against Vukovich. He's looking for a much better outing here at home than he had in KC. So must win for the Brewers to extend it to a Game 5. Royals looking to end it and move on to the series. 6-7, Wilson switching to batting left. That's a leadoff single for Willie Wilson. Not what you want if you're Vukovich. And Vukovich is terrible at holding runners a +4. Then you got Simmons as a +2, so that's a +6, but the most you can have is +5. So it's a +5, -2 for being held, to make it a +3. So that would make him almost automatic except for a 20. That would be the only way he would be out. But he needs a 3 through 6 to get a jump. And he gets the jump, so the only way he's going to be out is on a 20. And he's in there, stolen base very easily for Wilson. He steals second base to get himself in scoring position. He'll have to be held at second base. And now the doubles machine, Frank White, is stepping to the plate. Vukovich, nothing happening. 4-10. Right-hander, that's a ground ball to third, and that's going to freeze Wilson at second base. So White could not get a hit. Not only could he not get a hit, he couldn't even advance the runner. So now here's George Brett. He's been kind of having a quiet series. The Royals looking for him to break out. Vukovich, 1-5 to Brett, and that's a 1-6 double. That's a 1, so it's a double for George Brett. And there's your breakout. Kansas City taking a 1-0 lead here in the first. And Brewers can't go with Vukovich too long if he's going to be struggling, because there's no tomorrow. Here's the DH, Hal McCray. Brett, that's a 2. Brett is being held at second base. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We are checking pass ball. Pass ball for Simmons. For some reason, I didn't write his pass ball rating. I don't know why. That's kind of weird. His pass ball is a 2, and so is his throwing chance for an error. So it's a 1 to 2 to be a pass ball. No pass ball, so we drive on. McCray against Vukovich, 6-3. Ground ball pitcher X. Vukovich is a 3.26. 3-18 should not be an issue. 3 and 18 for a pitcher is a G1, and that is an 8, and he is an E26. E26, there's a 9, but no 8. So it's a good play. So a G1 with a runner at second base. Let's see how that plays out on the super advanced chart. G1, runner at second. It says right. Right says, where'd it go? Here we go. Ball hit to shortstop, pitcher, catcher, C, decide. So decide says lead runner can attempt to advance a base, blah, blah. But I think Brett's just going to hold up. He's already in scoring position. There's no sense in him taking any chances. So Mcclure grounds out, but Brett's still in scoring position for Willie Aikens. Vukovic, nothing on the havoc. Here's Aikens. 5-4, and that's a catcher X. It'll be Simmons. He is a 3E1. 3 and a 2, that could be interesting. 3 and a 2 is a W/G, and W/G is a wild pitch. So it's going to be a wild pitch. There's nothing else to check. You just get a wild pitch out of that. So it's a wild pitch. It's going to move Brett to third. And that'll keep Aikens at the plate. Now a base hit will score for sure. 6-11. That's a fly ball left. That's going to end the inning. So all of that by Kansas City, and they just get one run. Could have been a lot worse for Milwaukee. Vukovic still sketchy at best. So we go to the bottom of the first. Kansas City 1, Milwaukee coming to bat, and Dennis Leonard making his first appearance of the series as the number 4 starter, 10-6 with a 5.10 ERA and 21 starts. He will be in there to face Paul Molitor to lead things off for the Brew Crew. 6-5, that's a ground ball to short. UL Washington takes care of it. 1 down for Robin Yount. 6-7, that's a 1-2 double, 3-20 for a single. That's a single for Robin Yount. He's aboard. Dennis Leonard is a +2 hold. Wathen's a -1 for aggregate of +1. And then -2 for being held is a -1. So if Yount got the jump, it would be a 17 to do it, but he needs a 6. And of course, you do take the chance of rolling a 1 where you can get picked off on the D20. But nope, nothing's going to happen. So Yount will be held, but he won't go anywhere. Bumped Cecil Cooper up to third. I swapped Cooper and Simmons. Usually I had Simmons hitting third and Cooper hitting fourth, but swapped him in this one just to try to shake things up a little bit. 3-4, and that's a ground ball to first base, B. So it's a fielder's choice. Aikens goes to Washington for the force. Cooper is now the runner at first. He will not be held. And here is Ted Simmons. Havoc roll for Leonard, nothing happening. 111 for Simmons. That's a ballpark home run chance, but it's only a 1-2. So with that being a 10, that's just a deep fly to right to end the inning. And that's going to do it for the Brew Crew. Nothing in the first. We go to the second, still 1-0 KC in a must-win situation for the Brewers. Here is A.O. Amos Otis. Otis, my man. Vukovic to Otis, 1-9, struck him out. So A.O. out on strikes, and here's John Wathen, the catcher. 2-9 for Wathen. Strikeout plus injury, but I'm not doing injuries. So not even in-game injuries. I'm not messing with any injuries. So Jerry Martin, the batter. 1-7. 119 single, that's a base hit. Base hit Jerry Martin. He will not be held. And UL Washington, the batter. Nothing going on there. 6-7, switch hitter batting left. That's a single, 2 stars. And a 2-out rally by the Brew Crew. Puts runners on the corners with 2 outs. Now UL Washington is a threat to steal. He needs a 4 through 6 to get a jump. And he gets the jump. And again, with the only way he's out is on a 20. And he's going to steal second base. So that puts 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. A base hit will score 2 runs most likely. So here's Willie Wilson. Vukovic has to be careful. Vukovic to Wilson. Wilson singled his first time. 1-6, and he's going to do just the same thing again. A single, 2 stars. The 2-run single for Willie Wilson. And that stolen base by UL Washington produces another run. And it's 3-0 Brew Crew. I'm sorry, 3-0 Royals, rather. And the Brew Crew have the bullpen loosening already here in the second inning, as Mr. Vukovic was not effective whatsoever. Jim Slayton is loosening in the bullpen. And actually, the guy that was going to start, Moose Haas, has a relief rating as well, but we'll see how it goes. Here is Willie Wilson looking to get a jump. 3 through 6. Nope, cannot get the jump, so he will stand pat. And Frank White, the batter. 6-4, and that's a ground ball third base. That's Molitor. He's a 4E32. 4-1, that's going to get through for a base hit. So the troubles continue for the Brew Crew. A 4-1 is a single, 2 stars. That'll put Wilson to third base. That's a 13. He's an E32. And how about that? He's an E32, and that's a 13. We got a 1-base error, so not only a single, but an error. So that's going to score Wilson and move White to second base. 3 runs are in. It's now 4-0 favor of the Royals. And here's George Brett. Vukovic hanging on by a thread, but it's not a very good thread. 5-5. That's a walk. And that's going to be it for Vukovic. They're going to take him out. They just can't go any further with him. He just didn't have it again. He is their ace. I believe he won the Cy Young in 1982, if I'm not mistaken. But he didn't look like it today. Jim Slayton is going to come in 10-6 with 3.29 ERA, 7 starts and 6 saves. So he will be the guy that will be charged with trying to slow down the Royals and keep things from getting totally out of hand. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. And the first two batters of the inning struck out. Figured it'd be an easy inning. But then 4 straight singles and a walk plus an error thrown in. And you've got some havoc going on. Here's Slayton to Mcclure. DH 3-7. And that's a line out, but it's a clutch rating. And with a runner in scoring position, that clutch turns into a single, 2 stars. And that produces another run. So the clutch outing here, that clutch performance on Mcclure comes through with a base hit. It is now 5-0. 4-run inning for the Royals. They lead at 5-0. And here's Willie Aikens. So Slayton got bit by the clutch bug. Willie Aikens, 2-9. And that's more trouble. That's a double 2 stars. Double 2 stars. That will score another run. It is now 6-0 with Mcclure going to third base. That's 5-run inning for the Royals. They lead at 6-0. They batted around. Amos Otis, who led off the inning, will, by striking out, will come up again. But this time he's going to face a different pitcher in Slayton. That's a 1, chance for a wild pitch. And it is a wild pitch. That will score another run on the wild pitch. Unbelievable. Wild pitch scores a run, moves Aikens to third base. That is a 6-run inning now for the Royals. I'm going to have to clean this up because that's what I get for trying to put the numbers in here before the inning's over. I think I'm just going to hold off on that until the inning is officially over. But right now it's 7-0 favor of the Royals. Otis now facing Slayton. 2-6, and he grounds to short to end the inning. So Amos Otis made 2 outs that inning. But it was a profitable one for the Royals. They put up 6 and take a 7-0 lead. And Dennis Leonard, one of the happier guys in the ballpark, as he gets a 7-0 lead to work with. The Brewer fans are sticking around to see if their team can come back, but it doesn't look good. Here's Ogilvy. 3-7, that's a line out to UL Washington, 1 away. Royals trying to go to the World Series like they did in 1980 and 1985. They're going to hope 82 is a charm as well. Stormin' Gorman, 3-4, grounds to short again. So UL Washington takes care of both outs. Here's Don Money. 3-6, and Money walks. Money walks and everything. Money talks and everything else walks, but in this one, Money walks. He, of course, will not be held. And here is Charlie Moore. 1, chance for a wild pitch from Leonard. 9 is not going to be a wild pitch. Go to Moore, 4-8, and that's a ballpark home run chance, but only a 1-2. That's a 16, so just a fly to left to end the inning. After 2 innings of baseball, it is the Royals with a commanding 7-0 lead on the Brew Crew, and they have put a shock into George Bamberger and the fans here at County Stadium. Slayton back out, 5-9. That's a ground ball to third, 1 away. Not going to rewrite all these innings because of the batting around. And need to do the final book on Vukovich. Let's see, Vukovich went an inning and 2/3, and he gave up all 7 runs, and all of them were earned. Let's see, how many hits did he give up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. And he walked 1, struck out 2. So a very rough outing. He pitches basically 5 innings in the 2 games and gives up a ton of runs. So ugly results for sure. All right, so Wathan was out on the ground out to Molitor. Here is Martin. 1-6 for Martin. That's a single. 1 out single for Jerry Martin. He will not go anywhere, will not be held. Here's UL Washington against Slayton. 3-4. That's a ballpark single check. 1-10. That's a 19 though, so it's a line out to second base. So 2 down, and that brings up Willie Wilson, 2 for 2. And when he's on board creating havoc, the Royals can definitely get things going. 2-7. This time he strikes out to end the inning. So Slayton brings a little bit of relief to the Brewers, but damage, I believe, is probably already done at 7-0. I don't know that the Brewers can score 7 runs, but I mean, they have the offense to do it, but it just hasn't shown up all series, so don't know if it'll show up now. 4-9, and that's a in-home run chance, 1-11, but he does have normal power against righties. That's a 9, so how about that? Jim Gantner, number 9 hitter, hits a home run. Wow, Jim Gantner puts the Brewers on the board. He had 4 home runs on the season, but he does have normal power against righties. All 4 home runs, obviously, against the right-handers. And he has the 1 chance at a home run here on his card, but they're playing for home runs off the pitcher card on the 50-50 split. So Gantner gets a home run, cuts the lead to 7-1. Unfortunately for the Brewers, it was a solo shot. Leonard now to Molitor, 3-6, and that's a base hit for Molitor. So maybe the Brewers can do some rallying. Molitor, they're not going to, down 7-1, you're not going to run. He will be held, but they're going to hold him. They're not going to take a chance on the base paths. Leonard to Yount, 5-3. Ground ball pitcher, actually, it's a 3E33. 3 and a 13 for a pitcher. 3 and a 13 is a G2, so that's a fielder's choice coming up. That's a 9 on an E33. There is no 9s, an 8 and a 10, but no 9. So it is going to be a fielder's choice, 1-4. As Frank White does not make the relay to first. They just take the shore out. Yount, the new runner at first with 1 away, and here's Cooper. 1 chance for a wild pitch on a 1-6, and it is a wild pitch, so Yount will move up. That takes the double play out of the equation. Here's Cooper. 3-8. That's a pop up to first. Big out there. Right in the middle of a rally. That could have got something done if it had gotten a base hit. Now there's 2 outs and it's up to Simmons. Another wild pitch chance. And that's another wild pitch. So the second wild pitch of the inning has moved Yount from first to third. But there are 2 outs. And here's Simmons. 6-5, switch hitter batting left. It's ground ball to second. Innings over. So Brewers look like they had something going, but they only get the run from Gantner's homer. At the end of 3, it's 7-1. Slayton's back out, and he's going to go as long as he can. In the American League, there's no pitcher hitting, so don't have to worry about pinch hitting for him. He can just go until his arm falls off. Here's Frank White. 2-4 for White. That's a ballpark single check, but that's an 11. Singles only go to 10, so it's going to be a line out to short. 1 away for George Brett. 5-6. Ground ball to second. So Slayton certainly settling things down, but is it too little too late? It very well may be. They maybe should have pulled Vukovic earlier. 3-9 for Mcclure. It's a pop out to short. So we go to the bottom of the 4th, still 7-1. Dennis Leonard back out. We'll be facing Ogilvy, Thomas, and Money. 6-11. That is a split chance on the super advanced, not straight single. Split chance on that triangle. Come down here. 1-6 for a single. 17 though is a line out to second. So that's one where super advanced took the hit away. In advanced, that would have been a hit, but super advanced, it is not. Here's Gorman Thomas. 2-7. That's a walk. 1 out walk to Thomas. Of course, he will not be held in this situation. Don Money stepping to the plate. 4-8, and that's a ballpark home run chance again, but again, only 1-2, so just a deep fly to left as the ballparks are not cooperating to give power hitters extra home runs. Here's Charlie Moore. Leonard to Moore, 2-8. That's a ground ball back to Leonard, and the inning's over. So we go to the 5th. It's still 7-1. Slayton back out. We'll be facing Willie Aikens, Amos Otis, and John Wathan. 6-8 for Slayton against the lefty. That's a walk. So leadoff walk to Willie Aikens, who of course will not be held. And Amos Otis, the batter. Nothing on the havoc. Slayton to Otis, 4-4. That's a ballpark single check, but it's only a 10. That's a 12. So again, a failed ballpark result. Results in an out. Brings up John Wathan. Slayton to Wathan. 3-4. 1-15 is a single. That's an 8. So it's a single 1 star. Aikens will stop at second base. Runners at first and second with 1 out for Jerry Martin. Royals looking to add to that lead. Slayton to Martin. 5-7. And that's damage done in column 5. That's the one place you can get him. 5-7 right there. 15 is a single 2 stars. That will produce a run. It's now 8-1 Kansas City. And you wonder maybe if Slayton is losing it a bit. Here's UL Washington. Infield playing for the double play. Or are they? No, actually they're playing in. They can't afford it. They can't afford to give up another cheap run. 2-7, that's a single 2 star, so it doesn't matter anyway. That's a base hit. That will score. Move Martin to third. It is now 9-1, and that's going to be it for Slayton. He seems to have just lost it all of a sudden. He was doing so well, and then he just kind of basically just lost it, for lack of a better term. So now we need to go to a new pitcher, and they will go to a left-hander, Bob Mcclure. He's another starter slash reliever, 12-7, 4.22 ERA, 26 starts, but he does have relief rating, and they need a lefty out of the pen to, or somebody out of the pen to do something. Wilson a little bit better hitter against the righties, so they figure turning him around to the left might work better. He's not much of a double play candidate, so they're going to play the infield in once again with only 1 out. 1-10. That's a single to left. There's a clutch there, but there aren't 2 outs, so the single will stand. Willie Wilson with the base hit. That will score Martin. 3 runs are in the inning. It is now 10-1. Again, I need to learn my lesson and not write in that number. 10-1. Runners at first and second with only 1 out for Frank White. And whoever the Brewers bring in, they don't seem to have it from the pitching side. 3-12. That's a low max, so that'll work. That's a double play. He lines it to second, and then Gantner throws to Cooper to double up Wilson. So Lomax gets him out of the inning, but not before 3 runs score and make it a 10-1 game here in the bottom of the 5th. 10-1, and some of the Brewer faithful are not so faithful anymore. They are heading for the exits, an early exit. Here's Gantner. He's responsible for the only run of the game with a home run. 3-6, and he grounds to short. UL is there. So the champagne is on ice for the Royals, and it's looking like they're going to be able to break into it very shortly. Molitor 3-8. 1-8 single. That is an 8, so Molitor does get a base hit. Of course, not going to be held, not going to go anywhere, down 10-1. Here is Yount. 6-8. That's a ground ball, second base X, and since he's not being held, it's not going to affect Frank White. He's a 1E20. 1 and a 9. Might be a double play chance. Let's see. 1 and a 9 is a G1. That's an 11, and he is an E20. There is no 11, so that's a double play, 4-6-3. So by not holding Molitor on, that freed him up to make the range play and make that double play chance. So we go to the 6th. Still 10-1. Mcclure back out to face Brett. See about, I forgot to close the book on Slayton. Let's see, Slayton gave up 2 hits here. Hit here is 3. And then 1, 2, 3 more there. So he gave up 6 hits and 3 runs. And let's see, did he walk anybody? Walked 1. Struck out 1. And he pitches 3rd of an inning here, inning and a 3rd, 2 and a 3rd. Looks like 2 2/3 innings is what I have him for unofficially for Slayton. All right, so here is Brett now to face Mcclure, top of the 6th. In a 10-1 blowout, 5-9, struck him out. So he strikes out Brett, 1 away. Here's Hal McCray. 4-9. That's a fly to right, 2 down. And let's see, are we going to get a pinch hitter for Willie Aikens? Let's see what they want to do with this. No, Aikens is going to hit. Let's see. 2-7 for Aikens, and that's a walk. So 2-out walk to Aikens. 2-out walk from Aikens. I was going to do a defensive replacement, but I'll leave him in there. Aikens will not be held. Here's Amos Otis. Mcclure to Otis, 6-8. Struck him out. He's not tired yet, so he struck him out to end the inning. So Mcclure, I think his day is going to be done, most likely. Mcclure ends up going in inning and 2/3. And he's going to give up a hit and a walk and a strikeout, and gets 2 strikeouts. No runs. So they'll bring in a new pitcher, Moose Haas, who got passed over for the start. They will bring him in to pitch, so he gets a chance to pitch in the series, as he is one of the few that has not pitched in the series for the Brew Crew. So Moose Haas will take over when we start the 7th. Right now, Dennis Leonard, here in the bottom of the 6th, he's still not reached his fatigue inning, so he's still good to go, particularly with a 10-1 lead. Cooper, 2-3 for Cooper, struck him out. 1 down, and here's Ted Simmons. 1-6, that's a home run chance, 1-12, but that's a 14, so it'll be a double for Ted Simmons. 1 out double for Simmons. Brings up Ogilvy. 1-6 for Ogilvy. He grounds to short, 2 down. Simmons holds, and Storman Gorman comes in to face Leonard. 6-3, fly ball left field X. Wilson's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. We're just checking the E6. E6 and a 10. I don't think that's going to be any problem whatsoever. E6, there is no 10, so it's good play for Willie Wilson, and the inning's over. So Dennis Leonard thought he might have been a weak link there as a number 4 starter with an ERA over 5, but he has tossed 6 innings, only allowing the home run by Gantner to be the only blemish on his record. Here's Moose Haas. He got passed over for the Game 4 start. 11-8, 4.47 with 27 starts and 1 save. So he's going to come in and probably try to finish out the ball game if he can, just to prove to Bamberger that he probably should have started this game. 5-8, that's a strikeout to start the ball game. 1 away, and that's going to send up Jerry Martin. And actually, Jerry Martin will be pulled back, and they will bring in Geronimo, who's a better defensive player. So Geronimo will take over in right field. He will take over in right field. We'll say our Geronimo. Take over for Martin. And Geronimo is a 2, E2 and a -3 arm. So definitely better defensively. And when you're up 10-1, that's what you're playing for, is defense. Haas, 3-11 to Geronimo. It's a ballpark home run chance, but 17 is not going to let that happen. 2 down for UL Washington. Haas to Washington, 4-9, and that's a split chance. 1-4 is a double, but that is a single for UL. He's got 3 hits in the game. And that brings up Willie Wilson. Haas to Wilson. 5-7. 1-9 is a single, but that's a 10, so he grounds it to first, and the inning is over. So Moose Haas does pitch a scoreless 7th. We go to the 7th inning stretch, and we're going to get some defensive changes for the Royals to start off the bottom of the 7th. They already have Geronimo moving to right field, and we'll look at some other changes that they're going to make as we go to their bench, and let's see what they want to do defensively. Maybe just to give some guys some chances to play. So let's see how they want to play this. Greg Pryor will come in and play third base for George Brett. And he's a 3 E26 and a 12. Onyx Concepcion will come on and play second base for Frank White. And he is a 3.22 with a 14. And the only reason they're doing this is because it's a 10-1 game, which they kind of figure is pretty much over. Don Slaught will take over as the catcher for Wathen. And Slaught a 3, 2, and a -1. So Slaught will take over as the catcher. Let's see what else they have going for them. Actually, Geronimo will move over to center field. He will actually move over to center field, not right field. So Geronimo, let's look at his numbers for a center fielder. Geronimo is still the same results. So taking over in right field and batting in the spot of Amos Otis is Steve Hammond. So Steve Hammond is in right field. He's a 3, and a -1 with a 12. And let's see, Lee May is going to take over at first base for Willie Aikens. And let's see, what else do we have here? Taking over at DH is Jamie Quirk for Hal McRae. So that uses their whole bench. So now I'm going to put all these guys in order, make sure I got them in the right order. We're going to have Concepcion. Onyx Concepcion will lead off the next inning. He's going to bat in the second spot. So we're going to have Willie Wilson still in the game as the leadoff hitter. Concepcion hits second. And then we have Pryor coming in for Brett. He will hit third. Quirk will bat cleanup in place and DH in place of Hal McCray. Hitting fifth and playing first base is Lee May. Batting sixth and playing right field is Steve Hammond. Batting seventh and catching is Don Slaught. Batting eighth and playing in center field is Cesar Geronimo. And batting ninth, still the shortstop, UL Washington. Okay, so now we're all set. Now we've got everybody the way they need to be. Okay, so bottom of the seventh we go. This is the fatigue inning for Dennis Leonard. And he's going to be facing Don Money. 3-5. 1-11 is a single, but that's a 15, so he grounds it to the new third baseman, Pryor, and he makes the play. One down. That'll bring up Charlie Moore. And you know what? Charlie Moore hasn't done anything either. They're going to pinch hit for Charlie Moore, well, the Brew Crew. And they're going to bring in Marshall Edwards. He hasn't had much of a chance to play in this series. So Marshall Edwards will take over in right field and see if he can spark something. I doubt it, but why not? Why not? When the score is what it is, you kind of can freelance and it doesn't really matter because the starters aren't doing it, so might as well give the backups a chance. 2-9, and he flies to right. That's 2 down. So that didn't help out the Brew Crew any. Charlie Moore on a 2-9 would have grounded to second, so tit for tat on that one. Here's Gantner. He's the only responsible for the only run of the game, so I'm not taking him out. Leonard 3-8 to Gantner, grounds to first, inning's over. So Dennis Leonard, 7 innings of pitching, only allowing 1 run. He has just been really, really good, so to speak. Here's Moose Haas back out, and he'll be facing the new second baseman, Onyx Concepcion, to start. So Royals almost have, except for Willie Wilson and UL Washington, everybody else is a backup in the game. Haas to Concepcion, 1-8. That's a grounder back to Haas. 1 away. Brings up Greg Pryor, the new third baseman. As the Royals are resting their starters for the World Series, giving them a chance to look on and enjoy the rest of this game. 6-10 is going to be a ground ball to first, and Cooper will take it to the bag himself. 2 down for the DH, Jamie Quirk. 5-8, that's a single. So Jamie Quirk gets himself a base hit. That'll bring up Lee May, first baseman. Nothing on that for Haas. 3-10 for Lee May. 1's a double, 2-20 is a single. That is a 1, but it's only 2 stars. So Quirk has to stop at third. But it's second and third with 2 outs now for Steve Hammond. So Haas to Hammond. 4-7, that's a single, 2 stars. So a 2-run single for Steve Hammond as he joins in the hit parade. Royals put another 2 on the board and take a 12-1 lead. And new catcher Don Slaught stepping up. 6-8 against Haas, and that's a fly to center to end the inning. That's going to be it for Haas. They'll pitch somebody else in the 9th. So the Royals get 2 runs. And the Brewers, I think, will bring in the last inning, they'll probably bring in, I'm thinking Jerry Augustine. Actually, I guess I'll bring in Dwight Bernard. So Dwight Bernard will come in and pitch the 9th for the Brewers to mop up. Moose Haas pitched 2 innings. Gave up a hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 2 runs and 4 hits. And struck out 1, didn't walk anybody. So now Leonard didn't have anything against him in his point of weakness inning, so they're going to keep him going. Paul Molitor, Yount, and Cooper following. In the 8th, 3-4. That's a home run chance for Molitor. 1-16, and it's gone. But again, a solo home run. If you just give up solo home runs, when you get some run support, it's not going to hurt you too much. Just cuts the lead to 12-2. And here's Yount. And now the Royal bullpen starting to light toss down there. Don Hood, a lefty, and Bill Castro, a right-hander, are both loosening. Actually, no, Frost. He hasn't pitched yet in the series. Dave Frost is loosening in the bullpen. Yount, 3-7. That's a ground ball to short. 1 down for Cecil Cooper. 2-9 for Cooper. That's all he hits in column 2, and he found a ground ball to second. That's kind of a microcosm of this series for the Brew Crew. It's Simmons, 2-8. Ground ball to the pitcher, and that's going to end the inning. So 1 run is in, but that's it. They're going to cap Leonard at 8 innings pitched and 2 runs. Both of them on solo homers. Let's see, he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He walked 2. And he struck out just the 1. Struck out Cooper. That was it. But a really good outing for Dennis Leonard. And they will have Mr. Frost come in and try to finish out the inning. Finish out the ball game, rather. Dwight Bernard is in for the Brew Crew, facing Geronimo, Washington, and Wilson here in the top of the 9th. That'll be a 12-2 game. 2-7, ground ball to short. Geronimo is out. Brings up UL Washington. He's got 3 hits in the game. 5-9, make it 4 hits. That's a 12 is a double for UL. His 4th hit of the game. UL will not be held on, obviously. It's Willie Wilson. 2-6 for Wilson. Ground ball to first. And that'll get Washington over to third base with 2 down for Onyx Concepcion. 1-7 for Concepcion. He grounds to short, and that's going to do it for the 9th inning. Bernard goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, nothing else. Bottom of the 9th, I would say last chance for the Brewers, but I think that would be a little bit irresponsible to say. Dave Frost had not pitched in the series yet. 6-6, 5.51 ERA, 14 starts, no saves, but he does have a relief rating. So Frost will come in and kind of mop up here in the 9th against Ogilvy, Thomas, and Money. So Ogilvy will be the first batter to face Frost. 1-2, split chance. 1-2 is a single. Anything else, he lines to second. That's a liner to second. 1 away. Brings up Thomas. Storm and Gorman. And he's had a rough series all the way around. 2-8, and he strikes out. That's just kind of been the kind of series he's had. Here's Don Money. Frost to Money, 2-6. That's a 1 for a triple, and that's what we got, a 1. So Don Money, a rare triple off the bat of Don Money. He had 3 triples on the season. There's one of them right there. And that brings up Marshall Edwards to pinch hit. Oh, not to pinch hit. He took over in right field from Moore earlier, so that's why he's in there. Frost to Marshall. Royals trying to close this out. 1 out away from the World Series. 2-6, and it is. Ground ball to short. UL Washington gets it. Pumps once, pumps twice. Throws over to Lee May, and the ball game is over. Nothing doing for the Brewers in the 1st, or in the 9th rather, other than the Don Money triple. But everything else, all Royal Blue. Final score, an incredible 12-2 in favor of the Royals as they pound out 20 hits, 12 runs on 20 hits. And the Royals held the Brewers to 2 runs and 7 hits. Those 2 runs, both solo homers. So There will not be a Brewer World Series. There will be a Royal World Series. And the Royals now celebrating on the home turf of the Brew Crew. And fans, what few are left, are not happy about it. But that's the way it is. Dennis Leonard, he's the man with the pitching, but then when you pound out 20 hits and score 12 runs, you don't need a whole lot of pitching. And the Royals just dominated the series 3-1. And if it wasn't for Don Sutton and his great outing, it would probably have been a sweep. That tells you how impressive the performance was from Don Sutton. So the Royals will go to the World Series. And in case you haven't watched the National League game, I won't spoil who they're going to be playing. But World Series time will be coming up very shortly. The Royals are a hot team. They're going to be a tough out. But we'll see what happens as we go to the World Series. Brewers and the Royals are finished here at County Stadium. The Royals dominate 12-2, pounding out 20 hits. Leonard the winner, Vukovic the tough loser. And we wait for the World Series, and we leave County Stadium and never come back, at least not in 1982. That's going to do it from here, folks. The Royals, we had a royal time of it, and they just blow the Brew Crew out of the water early and often. 6-run second inning set the tone and put the game away early. So that's going to do it from here. Sorry it wasn't a closer game, but sometimes you can't get those. It's all in what the dice do. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.